If you've ever thought that games are too forgiving, well boy do I have a franchise for you. Devil May Cry 4 is the not very long awaited sequel to the prequel. And Dante's Wait a minute. Who the fuck? We didn't have enough whitehead fictional baddies as of the last installment, so say hello to Nero. He's the cool and serious new member of the Sparta household, and he has completely pure motivations behind his journey. Man, I could go for some box right now. And as Devil May Cry fans, I'm sure you're used to beelining for enemies like a drone strike on a hospital building, but this time, things are a bit different. For the first time in the franchise's history, there are some pretty wild changes going down, because these guys are not the same. The bust in your hand challenge got pretty serious in 2008, but there are also some pretty fun story revelations, like the fact that God is dead or never existed, heaven is an illusion, and angels are just devils playing elaborate dress-up. I love fiction. For those of you in the back, I'll say it again. This is Nero, and before you freak out, don't worry, this guy definitely has the secret sauce. And sure, he doesn't have all the awesome substance abuse issues that Dante does, but he's got something special. Game. We at least get a pretty legit new skill in the form of Nero's Devilbringer. And fortunately, the pistol does pretty much nothing. So you have to get up close and personal now. Which works perfectly with Nero's jerking off hand. Just not too personal. And not to mention, the new weapon isn't exactly a rebellion clone. You can rev your Red Queen up like a 2016 YouTube video, melting through your enemies about 5% faster. I'll definitely remember to use that. On that note, DMC4 actually brought in some new currency, and I don't think we needed it. Instead of getting these Berserk-esque lots of demon blood, now we also get Proud Souls, an exclusive skill upgrading currency, for some reason. But we still need red orbs too. And unless you're hoping to get demon goop shoved down your throat every other mission, you're gonna need to play ball. Otherwise your health bar will have the capacity of a AA battery. And that shit cannot fuel you through the massacre of an entirely new race of demons. Okay, so now that we're adequately unprepared for all the nut-curdling, evil-ass devil spawn trying to turn us into pictures on cigarette cartons, it's time to play the game. And first on the agenda is a completely average encounter with your average, everyday demon. Dante! They were cooking. They were cooking. Now it's probably a bad time to mention this, but it's been over half a year since I last played Devil May Cry. How do I play? Now hear me out on this one. Dante as an antagonist in this story is the most incredible writing decision they could have made. Because sure, we know him, but to everyone else here, this guy's literally insane. That hit your neck, playboy. Try again. Dude, we are not beating this guy. As great as it feels to lay hands on Dante, I think I'm ready to start playing the actual game.
Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
We're on the hunt for Dante, after he very subtly assassinated the head of the church. And now we're back to basics. The tried and true Devil May Cry formula of going places, beating up the locals of lower socioeconomic areas, and cranking that shit. And man, does it feel good. Sometimes these games can feel a little overwhelming, so I'm glad to have the time to build up some muscle memory and grab some new ability. Oh, fuck. Yeah, this game doesn't tend to have much of a chill when it comes to pacing. If you're not fighting a new boss, there'll be 2 or 3 enemies right around the corner, waiting for you to relax and proceeding to rip your limbs from your body. This is a prime example. Comfort is your enemy. Settle into a rhythm too quick, and they'll drop a fat man on you. And as always, heals are impossible to come by, unless you don't care about being able to fight off the inbound predators and waste all your red orbs. It's like being a kid in Palm Beach, and trying to make item drops last a whole fight. Well, you may as well kill yourself. But that's exactly why winning is the most pure hit of dopamine. Yeah! Oh my god, I locked in. Finding the spawn point of Pseudo-Satan is pretty crazy, and the implications are dastardly, but there's not enough time to just stop and check it out. Nero has a mission, and if you like eating shit and crying, you're gonna love what's coming up. I wouldn't call myself a puzzle guy, even somewhat. And you know, I've played Resident Evil 2, I've played Resident Evil 4, I've been around the block a time or two. But Devil May Cry games, they have these atypical combat style puzzles that feel really good. And it's not as back and forth as it felt in Temen
Negru.
Yeah, I'm not risking that one. In the tower in the last game. But it's also not easy, which is important. It feels like it follows the Helischisma something flow theory pretty closely. I don't want to feel like a baby, but I also want to use my brain as little as humanly possible. And hey, I feel just about smart enough to beat up a 6th grader. So this feels about right. Sometimes though, they lose me a little. But the highs and lows feel pretty natural in retrospect. Did I almost send death threats a time or two? No, I did send them. But at the end of the day, I was a little happier after finishing them than I was before. What is this shit? Huh?
I don't know what that is, I gotta shoot it.
What is that? That's Bale. And dear God, I hate him. In case you didn't quite catch the gimmick, it's Vor. And we look just about ripe to this chomo. He is literally a registered sex offender.
He should walk the platinum down.
I'm not gonna pretend this isn't a cool fight. Just, don't try fighting this guy after a long day. I'm so on the verge of... Now, things are starting to come together story-wise as we approach this next mission. Because the local Chud is losing his shit. Which doesn't make sense because you're meant to be on the same side, right? Wrong. What I can glean from the story thus far is that the church is a lot more suspicious than Nero presumes. And they blatantly show us the priest after his 30th blood transfusion from the local childcare center, so it's pretty obvious that something pretty unsavory is happening. Dante has a reason for redecorating the inside of the Pope's skull, we just don't know what it is. And something or someone made these structures, portals to the demon realm. And we don't even know who, or even why. And that's the core of Nero's conflict. We don't know what's happening, and neither does he. We're joining him some 18 odd years into his life, and he's just now figuring out where he stands in all this. It's a compelling way to really make you identify with a character. We aren't just learning the story with him, but it's also a relatable struggle that every person goes through in some form or another. And in the context of the story, when you question everything, there's this sense of certainty when our protagonist is understanding the world around him pretty competently. So I like Nero a lot, because he's not an idiot. And he's also not a blank canvas. He has his own values. And at the end of the day, all we know is that the church, well, they definitely aren't angels. Speaking of unholy disgraces to God, Agnes, the friendly neighborhood Chud, is about. And he checked out the Virgil fight from the last game and decided he wanted to get rid of the fun parts and make you shit the bed.
Yes, genuine dick sucker.
Because we definitely needed demon blades and a nearly undodgeable arena-wide shock attack. No, that's cool, guys, I get it. I didn't want to play anyway. Oh my god, your mother doesn't love you, bro. The really cool thing about this game so far is that it could easily stand on its own. And yet the fact that it's a Devil May Cry game changes things. We know Dante, we know Virgil, and we know what they can do. And Nero is the spitting image of these two. So either some juice got loose, he's a clone, or one of these maniacs got some. Which, it's obviously not the last one, because there's no way. But the context clues we have feel kind of suggestive. But this incomplete picture that we have actually makes it more interesting. And speaking of incomplete, here's another orphan primed for punching. We're about to be the second worst thing to ever happen to this guy.
Don't fucking crawl in a dirty, dank little hole.
Honestly, Kratos feels like he's in the wrong game. If you put this guy in a lineup with Ornstein and Smoke, I don't know if I could find him. Just put this whole boss fight in Dark Souls, man. Are you kidding? Oh my god!
It was second time.
Shit! He's getting on top of me right now, dude. Oh my god, one tried? Get one tried. And I'm gonna marry your freaking niece? Sister? I have no idea. Oh shit, drama. Guess I'll just kill myself. Yeah, she thinks I'm chopped. Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, big fat joke. Well, shit. God damn.